Shout out to Skiki Sky, producing your boy's first track. Shout out to my boy Brian to make fun of my my Millie Rock. Let's make fun of somebody. You're a little crazy today. I'll let this beat rock a little bit. While I kick it up a little bit, let Facebook do its social manipulation thing. Shout out to Skiggy for the track. I'm gonna just go ahead and put this out there. I'm dropping my first single next month. The music video being shot September 8th. I am looking for models to be in the house party for the video. That's September 8th. If you know somebody who knows somebody, please feel free to shoot me a link, shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, Twitter. The idea behind this is I have just finished a 12-day water fast. That means I have had nothing but water, sometimes salsa, a little pickle juice for sodium, which is definitely necessary. And there's a lot of discussion out there about the fast itself, which is not that complicated. You just drink water. I mean, you can have green tea without sugar, anything non-caloric. You can even have coffee. But there's not a lot of discussion about the process after you finish fasting. So after you finish an extended fast, you know, your body is pretty much, you know, you've cleared out all the toxins. You've gotten rid of a lot of the through autophagy, you've gotten rid of a lot of the stuff that really hurts your body, your function. So, but then what do? Like, how do you capitalize off of this process? So the main thing is, you know, for me, is to understand that I now have very diminished capacity for food. Like, my stomach is shrunk, obviously, my intestines, everything. My whole digestive process is slowed down. So what am I gonna put in my body now, you know, going forward? Like, how am I gonna make it so that I get the most nutrients? You know, I'm not gonna lie, during a fast, anybody that tells you during a fast that they feel like great all the time is lying, you know, because you do have those moments of weakness, especially when you stand up too fast. I stand up too fast right now, like, you know, I could get lightheaded, but that happens to people generally anyway, you know. So, but, you know, I'm aware now that I don't need anything really to function, but I want good things in me. I do want good things in me. And I also like to enjoy the flavor. So today I'm going to just talk real quick about why I fasted, how I fasted, how long, and why I chose how long. And then we get into this tomato challenge, which is, I probably want to make another video about it if it's good, because, I don't know, I like tomatoes. You know, I got a birthmark on my leg. And they always used to call it ketchup, like, oh, you got ketchup. You know, that's how my mom was just like, oh, you know, you got this mark, you ketchup, you got this mark, you strawberries, my sister. You know what I'm saying? So I always like tomatoes, I always like ketchup, I always like salsa and those things, you know? So I was like, when I became vegan, I was like, I'm gonna really start to enjoy these different vegetables, because, you know, we don't do that. We don't do that because we don't taste. You know, we don't have a sense of taste really anymore. Unfortunately, when you eat just burgers, chips, fries, you put sugar in everything, you know, you lose that ability to really appreciate the sensation. So just in terms of like why I decided to fast, what up, Tommy? Why I decided to fast, I mean, the main reason was really for clarity of mind. You know, I have been going through a transition. You know, most people who know me know I was a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, did bunch of civil litigation, worked at a firm, started a record label, BCG Records, 2013, 14, it says on the plaque. You know, and then, you know, been managing before that. So a lot of chilling, just vibing, bro. Just catching the vibe, Tommy. So, you know, a lot of the time that I was working, I've always been sort of trying to fit into the corporate box. And I mean, you could say I did it, say I didn't do it, whatever you want. But what I've always felt is that it was unfulfilling. And it wasn't until I decided to be an artist that I really kind of learned that this was my calling. I had a message to send that I could really enlighten people if I decided that I could do that. And I held myself back. Working with artists, you do that. You know, you become selfless, but business conscious. And so now I have the business style, and it's time to become, you know, more creative, more influential, and in the right way. So that was one of the reasons I made that decision when I was fasting. And I had the clarity of mind to say, you know what, you've been helping people, time to help you. You just had a son, beautiful baby boy, just had a girl, beautiful baby girl. You know, it's time that you kind of uplift your family in a serious way. And this music business, I mean, you know, I'm gonna let the music speak for itself. I got a track coming out, like I said. I'm not gonna hype it too much because, like I said, music has to speak for itself. Now, how I fasted. All right, don't trip. I'm not gonna get into no veganism right now. Before I decided to fast, I had been reading a lot of stuff on Zen Buddhism, and I actually finished a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which is around here somewhere. It's already probably in the library over there. I got a library, whatever. But what I discovered is that nothing really goes too deep into the fasting process. It's like, it's so counterculture, at least it was for so long. This time he's saying, word. It's so counterculture to fast. Like, you say something like that to somebody who's over the age of 35, 40, they're going to look at you like you're stupid. Like, you're going to die. I fasted for 20 days, no, you're going to die, you know? So I had to do my research. So I actually went back. I like to go back to the foundations. Like, if you look, you know, that's who I am. I start with the beginning because there's a lot of contradictions in it. So I started with Upton Sinclar. He wrote a book in 1910 called The Fasting Cure. I mean, you see, I read different. I don't read different. I read like my boy John Valinati, my OG, which is like, I read to be able to teach it because that's how you really learn. You know what I'm saying? If you just read for the purpose of rote memorization, or just, you know, it's just because it's a fad or whatever it is, you're gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? But I read to be able to explain it to my baby sister. I read to be able to talk to my mom about it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give y'all some of these quotes real quick. Just one quick quote that kind of laid everything out for me. Because for a long time, I was reading this book, like maybe 70 pages in. I was like, well, how long? How long? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do? Like, how do I get the most out of this? And then it just came to me in the beginning of one of his... The way this book is written is really dope, too. So the first part of the book is just him, like, explaining, like, the fasting process. You know, he wrote an article about it in a magazine, which is real short. You read that. And then the last half of the book is like all these people who fasted and the way they've been cured from AIDS. I don't know about AIDS, but I've heard it cures AIDS. Cured from cancer, cured from tuberculosis, cured from common cold. Like all these different diseases that have been destroyed by just not eating. You know, and I had heard about it, but that was kind of like mind-blowing for me. So the best, actually, it's not that deep into the book. So the best quote I got from it is, this is a quote, the question most commonly asked was, how long should one fast? And how one should judge the time to stop. And he says, I personally have never taken a complete fast. So a complete fast is when you basically fast until you don't feel hungry anymore. So, once you pass the third day of fasting, you don't feel hungry no more. That's the wildest thing. It's like you be starving. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the first 3 days suck. You know, during lunch, during breakfast, during dinner, you're like, oh, I'm hungry. But once you pass the first 3 days, you don't feel hungry anymore. At that point, you're just kind of like, oh, this is life, you know. And you can even be around people and not eat. So a complete fast is when you just don't eat, and then when you feel hungry again, they say it happens like 30 days, sometimes longer. And then you eat again, right? So Upton says he's never did a complete fast. I will do a complete fast. I didn't do it this time. I'm one of those guys that like to build up to things. I did intermittent fasting first, a couple of hours, then I did 3 days, 4 days, a week. Now I did 12 days. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do it for weight loss. I lost 100 pounds, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like when I start refeeding again, depending on how this diet goes, probably like the beginning of next year, or maybe sooner, who knows, I'll probably do a complete fast, but that is on the goal. That's on the bucket list up here. But he says, I personally have never taken a complete fast, and so I hesitate to recommend this to anyone I have fasted 12 days on 2 occasions. In both cases, I broke my fast because I found myself feeling weak and I wanted to be about a good deal. In neither case was I hungry, although hunger quickly returned. I was told by, so I mean, 12 days on average, but what he does say here at the end, longer fasts, it seems to me, are for those who have really desperate ailments, such deeply rooted chronic diseases as Bright's disease, cirrhosis of the liver, rheumatoidism, and cancer. So again, they're talking about cancer. Something else I want to say before I move on is I also discovered the Wim Hof Technique, and I know that's going to be kind of wild. It's called WIM HOF, and I plan on rapping about it too. I'm going to spit bars about it. And what that technique teaches you how to regulate your body temperature, increase your immune system through exposure to cold water, and also through breathing techniques and I've done this for about a week off and on. I haven't been religious about it. It's kind of hard while you fasting and do other exercise techniques. And the exposure to cold in particular has been extremely helpful for me. And what you got to do just to start, you just start taking cold showers at the end of your hot shower. And what it does is the muscles around your veins constrict when they pump blood. And because of the cold water, it causes your muscles to constrict. So it actually strengthens them. So it allows you to pump blood a lot more easier, brings your heart rate into more homeostasis. You're able to just function better. So, and I also found in this book, which was written in 1910. So the Wim Hof Technique is new. You might have heard about it on Joe Rogan, whatever. But in the book, he talks about it too. He says one should take a bath every day while fasting, right? You're gonna stink while you fast too, because all the toxins are coming out of your pores, out of your bowel, so you're gonna stink. So you definitely should shower. One should take a bath every day while fasting. I prefer a warm bath followed by a cold shower. Also, one should take a small enema. I find a pint of cold water sufficient. I received several letters from people who were greatly disturbed because of constipation during the fast. People apparently do not realize that while fasting, there is very little to be eliminated from the body. Of course, there are those cases, essentially, of people who have suffered from long, constipated intestinal trouble, in which even after 3 or 4 weeks of an enema continues to bring away quantities of dried, impacted feces. So, I mean, that's important too. That's stuff that you won't get from just looking online, and even from this live. I don't think most people ever talk about the necessity of just purifying your body, physically purifying your body through a laxative. I don't use the enema. I wasn't with that. I wasn't about that life. I bought it. I was like, put this shit back. I ain't with the enema shit. So I mean, that's how. So 12 days I recommend for we're gonna see. I mean, I'm still learning, but 12 days so far has been the longest I've done, and the most results so far. I do have plans to do more. The why, I mean, we talked about the why, but I think the most important thing is the clarity. I decided to become an artist during this time period. That says a lot. Hate it or love it, it is what it is. This is the process. All right, now to my favorite part, the refeeding process. So, out of respect for this tomato, I've been studying Zen Buddhism, so I'm gonna say a quick pray with my food, because you never know where it came from. Sharpen this knife. I'm a Ginsu. And let us begin. So today we are going to try 3 different tomatoes. I mean, most people here know about these tomatoes, but we don't appreciate the flavor of the tomato. I don't think we can. I haven't. Let me not speak for anybody else. I have not appreciated the flavor of tomato. So what we have here is a plum tomato. We have the very typical garden tomato, and then we have the Ace 55 tomato, which is, of course, there's Ace. I'm gonna pick the Ace tomato. So each of these tomatoes looks lovely. I haven't eaten in 12 days. I am gonna taste each of them and give you my unfettered opinion. Let's start with the Ace tomato, because Ace got the flavor. So I'm gonna slice this bad boy up with this sharpened knife. Juicy. That's not nice. No salt, no oil. Nothing, no additives, just straight nature. This is probably plucked hopefully recently. The smell, word life, the smell. I haven't had food until to describe the smell. I'm against with these lyrics, so oh my God. Wow. 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 Nah, no cap, bruh. This is sweet, savory. I haven't even bitten into. I just licked at the little thing, and I get sweetness. I get savory. I got all these additives up here. Almost fruity, but not fruity. It is a fruit. We all know tomatoes are fruit. Don't trip. But it's got a. I never thought I was like, I'm not gonna be tongue tied. I was looking up all these additives: sweet, fruity, tropical, sugary, low acidic, refreshing. It's almost like, even though I haven't bitten into it, it is overpowering my palate. Like I'm gonna take a swig of this green tea. This is unflavored green tea. That's all I really. If I need like to work on something, I'm drafting a complaint or whatever. Somebody, I'll take a swig, and that's it. And that'll burn more fat for you than anything you could do. And you work out, fasting, green tea. You know what I'm saying? No, but back to the Ace. Yo, this is wild. This is wild. Like, I gotta tell you, like, this is changing my life, because I never expected it to taste this good. I was really kind of capping with the tomato challenge. I was like, who knows what it's really gonna taste like? But I'm blown away. Like, okay, so the flavor is sweet, savory, and I would say succulent. I mean, I don't know how you describe it. Let me bite into it now. It's the first thing I've eaten in like 12 days. So let's see. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. I also got a coyote over here. I got some cucumbers. So I'm not gonna eat too much. Like I said, I'm trying to be responsible about breaking my fast. So what I want to say is that I don't know how to convey this, but it's like being a newborn baby. It's essentially, after this period of not eating for so long and just drinking water and then reabsorbing these flavors, like, I could understand exactly why people are so infatuated with vegetables. Like, why you don't really need chicken, beef, pork, those 5 proteins just to get flavor, because this is where the flavor is coming from. Like, beef doesn't taste like beef. Beef tastes like the seasoning that you put on it. And you know what the seasoning that you put on it tastes like? It tastes like Ace. So, first one is good. Sweet, succulent, savory. Good. No cap. It's good. Man. Wow. I'm excited to see if I can taste the difference. I'm not going to OD, mess up my palate too much. Because it is, the thing is, like, when I read sweet in a tomato, like, you hear sweet, but you put some sugar in it though, right? Or you put something else in it. No, but this is like genuinely sweet. So definitely, I mean, I'm happy so far. Like, even if the rest of the stuff is whack. So we're gonna do the garden tomato next. Why? Because I always cook with it. Like, I can get down. You know what I'm saying? I get down. My mom taught me how to throw down. I make my favorite dish was always spaghetti and meatballs. Now it's spaghetti and impossible meatballs. And so I've always cooked with it. That's just how I make my paste and I make my sauce. So I'm just gonna jump straight up in here and then, do my little thing. A little thing here. Ugh. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I ain't eaten in 12 days, so I'm very skeptical. Okay, not so bad, but I don't know what this right here though. Shout out to Spike. She took me over to the grocery store. I was like, I want some exotic fruit. I want some exotic vegetables. She's like, oh, I'll take you to a spot. I don't know, maybe been too exotic. Maybe it came from too far away. The good thing about it is, after fasting for 12 days, my immune system is is extremely, extremely strong. And I know that because I did some blood work and the doctor was like, your fucking white blood cells are like, you could probably kill anything in your path. So, all right. This looks relatively safe. You can see that. I wasn't too happy about that color. You know what I'm saying? But If it don't taste right, I'll just throw it out. Matter of fact, let me use this piece right here. This piece looks pretty decent. Is anybody saying anything? Y'all listening out there? Can y'all hear me? I see you, Tommy. What's going on, y'all? You hate tomatoes? Alright, peace, King. I know y'all gotta work. This is for the late night crew, man. This is for the people who try, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so for the garden tomato, Ace, I'm not grading it, but if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably put it like, so far out of 10, it's a 10. I'm not gonna lie. And I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. For this garden tomato, which may or may not be good for me right now, based on the color. This piece is good right here. I'm gonna give it a flavor. I can't immediately taste the difference. I'm not even cap. I can't immediately taste the difference. It's good though. It tastes like the Ace. It's very good, savory, sweet. Let me just bite into this, see how it go. Okay, less sweet, less savory. Not bad. It's definitely good. But I don't know. It might have, you know what, this is one of the things, like, you know, you got different variables you got to take into consideration too. Like, this might have came from Europe, this might have came from Africa, this might have came, you know. So, I don't think it came, I'm pretty sure it came from the US, but there's different things. Like, this might be spoiled. I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what this is. Don't smell spoiled. It tastes good, but I'm gonna be 100% with you. I cannot immediately, right here, right now, tell you the difference between garden and tomato, except for that I have noticed that the Ace is definitely it's more flavor. Like, I've tasted more flavor from it. So, you know what I'm saying? We move right on. I'm not gonna make this live too long. Give it probably like 7.5. And again, like, there's tons of factors that go into that. You know what I'm saying? So who knows if it's just my psychological effect from seeing that green shit spurt out, which is probably not even that unnatural, but whatever is it. Let's move on. All right, last but not least, the tomato challenge is this plum tomato right here. And I always wanted to get these too. Maybe they're cheaper sometimes. I don't know. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? You see it on the bottle or the can of the tomato sauce. You're like, oh, okay, I'll cook with that. So, you know, I don't really have any real knowledge of the taste. I just remember it just goes in the sauce. You don't think about the taste. Let's go ahead and cut into it. Okay, looks good. Cut a little slice right here for you guys to see that. Okay. Even less flavor. It's got even less flavor than the second and last one. So, let me not pass judgment yet. It's different. This is different. I don't know how to describe it. Oh, man. All right. Only way I could do this properly is if I get a bigger bite. So let me just cut it here. Mind you, this is all I've had to eat in like 12 days. So I noticed. I'm feeling it, tasting it on my tongue. No question about it. Less flavor. Less flavor. It's like Alright, so of the three, definitely the Ace. Champion of the world right now. Ace tomato was amazing. I'll probably definitely put the garden tomato as number 2, 7.5, and then the plum tomato at a 6.5. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, the Ace tomato just was like, maybe because it's the first thing I ate, it's like a massive burst of flavor, savory, sweet, fruity. Yeah, fruity. Definitely describe it. Garden tomato, a little bit less fruity, a little bit more hearty, but still had that burst of flavor. Still good. And then the plum was like, okay. And you know, maybe that's my palate. You know, I have to rediscover my palate. So that's pretty much it for the live. I wanted to do that tomato challenge, get people into you know what I'm saying, using your tongue for what it was made for. It sounds so weird. And you know, the one thing I want to leave people with the message, besides, you know, listen out for some tracks I'm coming out with pretty soon, is that you can do it. You can do it. So many people, I'm talking to them, I'm like, yeah, I lost 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, oh, I can never do that. I could never do that. You could do that. You could do that. I'm not special. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I was 354 pounds eating everything. Everything. And then all I did was restrain my eating habits. That's it. That's the only thing that's changed. I mean, you know, truthfully, it's a mental change. It's a spiritual change. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about religious, I'm talking about spiritual. But you can do it. There's no person on this planet who can't lose this weight or can't gain some incredible discipline. It takes 3 days to get past the phase of hunger. 3 days of struggle before you can reach the ultimate triumph, where you can enlighten your palate and awaken your mind, hit ketosis. I'll probably get into that another time. But that's what I want to leave you guys with. You can do it. You know what? You just have to put your mind to it. You have to believe in yourself. And if you do those things, you're going to be happy. So, peace out, y'all.